Welcome, beautiful priestesses of the rose, as we enter our silver rose temple. And we celebrate the holy day of Yule here in the Northern Hemisphere, and for our sisters in the Southern Hemisphere as they walk into the season with Litha. So we'll begin our temple, as we always do, with a grounding, and I'll be sharing about the energetics and the archetypes of this time, and Achintya will then lead us out of the Black Rose Temple into the relief and the embrace of the Silver Rose Temple. So whatever you need to do to just get yourself situated, and please make sure that you have your grimoire nearby if you choose, your priestess crystal to really activate the energies of the completion of the Black Rose Temple and the beginnings of the Silver Rose, and your shawl. So we have a lot of women here on video, or those we can't see, and so we feel you, we see you, even in the black and the abyss, because we're still quite there with Gaia. And if you can, just before you close your eyes, I'd just love to invite us to look at each other, to share in this way of, as sisters of the rose who are navigating huge, huge human experiences and also embodying great divine mysteries. You're all such blessings. And then when you're ready, you can close your eyes, knowing that soon you'll reopen them again back to this beautiful circle of sisters. I'm just taking some nice deep breaths. Closing your eyes. Feeling yourself arrive, leaving behind anything that doesn't need to be here. Feeling the depths of this winter season, the dark, the embrace, the womb, and the promise of the light's return in just a few days. Presencing our Black Rose Temple guide, Morgana, who has ushered us with fierce love, giving thanks to her. And of course, feeling the gentle welcome of our Rosa Mystica guide, Mother Mary. Feeling them as they hold hands, truly as your guardians, as we leave one season and enter into another. Presencing the groundedness, the root connection you have to Gaia. of course, the cosmic connection you have rooted into the womb of the cosmos. The above and below, pouring up from Gaia, showering down from the heavens above, culminating in the magic of who you are, who you always have been. And this becomes your sacred expression in the world as a priestess of the rose. And so it is here where you greatly receive the powers of the unseen, the powers of Gaia, the powers of all eternity. And it is here then, after it is anchored and embodied, that you get to share this with the world. In service to the upliftment of all beings in all dimensions, in all timelines, ancient, present, future, seen and unseen. And so it is. And so it is. And so it shall always be. Blessed be. Blessed be. Blessed be. Letting your breath move you, filling your vessel, giving gratitude for anything that's present in this moment. And so we welcome you, we welcome you, we welcome you, we welcome you. So if you wish to keep your eyes closed, please do so. I'll be sharing about the energies and the currents and the wisdom. And if you wish to open your eyes and listen or take notes, please do so, whatever feels just best to you in this moment, remembering that we're entering into this quiet time that's still very, very internal. So it's a real treat and blessing to get to share about Yule, about winter solstice. And so Yule celebrates a solar new year. And it seems like at this point we have lots of new years, with Samhain being the beginning of the Celtic New Year, and then Yule, winter solstice, being the beginning of a new solar year. And of course, then we have our soon-to-be new year as far as the Gregorian calendar. And then later in the year, in the spring, we have an astrological new year. So there's lots of newness at all times of the year. And that's an incredible opportunity for us to know that there are so many cycles that we're journeyed through, where there's descent and death, and there's the rebirth and resurrection. And so this is a solar new year, and so it's very joyful. Winter solstice is the longest moment of dark. And after that, the sun begins to return. So Gaia at Yule begins her inhale after her long exhale that began at Litha. And we're entering into the lighter part of the year, both, physically and literally, and also on an energetic and physiological level with the celebration of Yule. And so because it's this solar new year, it's really essential to begin this new cycle with lots of awareness, bringing the presence of yourself to this moment. And the winter solstice brings a whole new cycle at the seed level. And so we've been talking about that starting at Samhain through now. But in this fertile dark of the ground, something is going to be seeded and will gestate, and it will slowly make its presence known to you. So we celebrate this darkest night, knowing that the light is returning, and that is a great welcome relief. And of course, with this dark night, we'll get to witness Venus rising earlier because of the time of the setting sun. So we'll actually see her for longer, which is this beautiful artistry, I feel like, for this night of this quiet inner space, knowing that Venus is with us for even longer in our visual twinkling in the sky. So this year, Yule is on December 21st at 8:19 p.m. Pacific, and that is when the sun moves into Capricorn. This is the midpoint between Samhain and Imbolc, and so this is midwinter. Capricorn, as you know by now, is ruled by Saturn, who we know as the Lord of Karmas. And we know, especially through this karmic time that we've been journeying through. And on the flip side, Saturn is really also, with that karmic piece, the Lord of Justice. Capricorn is an earth sign that rules our core structures that we use to then will manifest our reality. So we're most close to our soul and our soul's purpose at this moment, which is just, there's something about that I think that we can all really begin to feel into at this moment. We're most close to that part of our most embodied essential self, and that's where the magic is. So again, we probably spoke about this at Litha, but solstice means that the sun stands still for 3 days. And the word solstice is derived from the Latin word solstitium. And sol, of course, means sun, and stitium is then translated into French as sister, and this means to cause to stand still. And so because the sun seemingly stands still, it's not truly still, but seemingly stands still, this opens a Yule portal. So Yule is December 21st, and the sun stands still for 3 days, the 22nd, the 23rd, and the 24th. Those are the 3 days of stillness within that portal. And then on the 24th, we have the dark moon, which begins your dark moon, new moon ritual for this month that Achintya shared in the Celestial Events recording. So we have really a big, wide amount of time that we're going to feel the flooding of the sun's return and what that means for each of us. Of course, the day of solstice changes a day or two from year to year, and yet in general, it's going to be around this same time and for the 3 days afterwards. And this is why and how the Christian church took this beautifully celebrated pagan holy day and anchored Christmas on December 25th. This was the time that the sun rose and moved again. This is the moment connected to Gaia and the solar mysteries where the sun was reborn, rebirthed. So the Christian church, as we know, reframed this moment to be when the Divine Mother birthed the Holy Child, her son, Jesus, Yeshua, our dear violet rose, guide. And of course, it's not just Christianity that took over this holy day, although they anchored it, of course, on a specific day of December 25th. But Hanukkah and Kwanzaa are based on the winter solstice as well, with just different calendars and timelines. And it's said that the Feast of Annunciation, when Archangel Gabriel visited the Virgin Mary and told her that she would conceive immaculately, was on March 25th, which makes December 25th exactly 9 months from the day. And we know that conception to birth is never exact like that. But Yeshua's birth had to be rooted in the Son's return as the great Son. And of course, as we remember from the Violet Rose Temple and Yeshua's journey with Venus, it's most likely that this was not when he was born. And we'll go into this in a little bit. But it's important to understand the mythology and what created from these sacred moments. So we find so many of the ancient Yule traditions converted into Christmas traditions, right? So, for example, the Celtic Druids, they honored the evergreen trees as manifestations of the goddess. And I just think that is so beautiful. These trees were sacred because they didn't die like the deciduous trees that drop their leaves. And so they represented eternal life. And the green symbolized their hope for the Son's return. And these evergreen trees were decorated at Yule with all the images that they desired that the waxing year was going to bring. So fruits for bounty, and coins for wealth, and candles, of course, for the light to return, and charms. And, a lot of spell work was actually put into the charms and hung onto the tree for creating and being conscious creators of what was going for this year. And then the tradition shifted a bit to where trees, these evergreen trees, were brought inside. And they were brought inside because they provided a place of warmth for the tree elementals, for the woodland fairy spirits, so that they were kept warm and they could play and participate in the winter solstice rituals. And of course, this is where the tradition comes of the Christmas tree, decorating it and all these things. But really, it was a ceremony honoring the goddess and the Son's return, and really to bring that playful fairy spirit into the home as blessing. And of course, other rituals like songs that were sung at winter solstice as people danced amongst the trees or around the stone circles became the caroling of Christmas stories that are full of joy and are full of being saved by the Lord. And so we just, it's important as we journey through all the mysteries to see the original points, right? The originations, and what has changed through religion, what has changed through culture, what has changed through tradition. But we are grounding ourselves into where this all began. And so the power of that is celebrating what this truly is about. So because solstice is a new year in regards to the sun and the sun's journey, we want to go back to this idea of the seeds. So throughout the Black Rose Temple, you are gathering these mystical seeds of your truth, right? Releasing seeds that maybe were left over from this past year or decades or other lifetimes that are no longer aligned, and you solidified and are solidifying the seeds in your basket that have clarified and that have ultimately offered themselves to you. Right? Some of our seeds we've been really praying for, what's next and how do I want to be in the world? And some of it has actually just come through the liminal realms, the ethers of the black, and offered themselves to us. So at this moment, there's this beautiful renewal of dreams that have been sleeping in your womb space. So at this time, you become full. with the conception of the sun. And there's a deep ancient soul frequency that wants to embody itself through you. And solstice teaches you that you are able and that it's important to be penetrated by the sun, the life giver, and to be open to receive the great blessings that are possible from this relationship. So the warmth of the sun's return offers solace and relief from the depths of the dark. This longest night that is Yule is often called the Mother Night. And this is where we're going to just spend some time, because this truly is an important facet of winter solstice. So out of the Great Mother, the galactic sun, the galaxies, the sun is birthed, right? The lights return. Out of the Great Mother, the Divine Mother, the Son, S-O-N, is born, right? So I presence that, of course, with Mother Mary and Yeshua, but we also know this with our gold rose guide of Isis with her son Horus. These are the great myths of the mother birthing the son, who is going to be an epic part of the transfiguration of humanity. So it's through this night that we conceive our dreams. The longest night leads us to the darkest place within our womb space, within our abyss. It's literally the length of time is the longest that we are in that space of our womb. And it's here that we're led to the most sacred medicines that our womb space carries. It's here where we shed and release, where our dreams seed, and where we bring forward the conception of light. The womb is the epicenter for all of this to transpire. So all the connections that you've been creating with your womb space throughout our journey, and of course even before our journey, really come into play at this moment. And it is here in our womb space where we meet, where we meet the Holy Grail, the Grail that annihilates and clarifies the deepest of self in lifetime. And the Grail is meant to shower you with the grace of the Divine Mother and Father, while simultaneously asking you to step into an expansive state of consciousness. This is where light conception resides, in the dark of the womb. And it's here where it's then gifted, and it's here where you then claim it. That is a very important piece with all of this, is your claiming of. This is not a conception that happens to you. This is a conception that happens with your consciousness and your yes. So from the center, from the holy, in the deepest caverns of the feminine, coming into form through you and through your DNA. It's here that the 12 strands of DNA conceive themselves through all the light fractals of all of creation into the multiverse of who you are. And light conception is that which comes through your own spiritual engagement and connection. It's through the liminal realms of your dreaming womb that the divine presence anchors within, as is the miracle of creation. It's here in her own womb space that Mother Mary activated the magic she had trained and studied to offer to the world a holy child. And Yeshua's light conception gave him the power to weave all of this divine, crystalline, human blueprinting within the grid of Sophia, bringing higher consciousness and mostly bringing this offering of unconditional love. That's what was offered through Mother Mary. And so it's here where we see the extraordinary sacrifice of this time of mother to child and of mother to the world. And remember that sacrifice is not something we have learned it to be in our patriarchal world of limiting yourself from something. Sacrifice is an offering of holiness to make sacred. Without the conception and birth of Yeshua and the subsequent seeding of light into the ley lines and the power places of Gaia, there may have been a substantial destabilization of the mysteries. And so it's here where we give great reverence and gratitude to the womb, to the choice of Mother Mary. And so it's here where we then find ourselves navigating these matriarchal mysteries, right? The love and the compassion of the Great Mother, that's just an epic, extraordinary offering to the world. And it's the place where destiny is fulfilled. So mother might be for you about giving birth to a child. And it can also be the way in which you love and you tend to your missions and passions. What I'm speaking to here is how you make sacred this outpouring of your love through your womb space, through this birthing. And so I want to say that this is not something that we take lightly. This is part of your path as a priestess of the rose. Brings tears to my eyes. So this is really what Yule is asking of you. What and how can you live out your destiny? Impregnating yourself with the sun's return. And this inquiry makes the seed that you plant on this holy day have a bit more gravitas. It's a bit more than just walking outside and seeding, something maybe a little bit on the mundane level. This is linking you to your mission here. And that doesn't mean that there won't be mundane aspects, but I want to help you to expand into an understanding of what this seeding means. And the beauty of this Grail question and these Grail inquiries of, what and how can you live out your destiny? How can you fulfill this, incredible mission that you chose in this lifetime? And missions is that alongside the Divine Mother, you have the crone, the wise woman, the elder, the one who has unfortunately been cast aside by our modern world, and yet she is the one who holds infinite wisdom. Your inner crone can offer you so much perspective as she's nearing the end of this lifetime. So all of the archetypes we journey through in Priestesses of the Rose have been with you since you were born. And so what this means is that the crone has been with you through the entirety of your life. She's seen you go through everything in your life. And of course, as you age, as we age, we receive wisdom and perspective. And so the crone has distance. She has lessons that have come from all experiences. And she can offer you reflection from this vantage point. So this is different from the maiden who holds the blueprints of your mission and has that joyful levity, right? But the maiden is with you for a certain amount of years, and then you grow and you leave that essence, that archetype. The crone, she is with you from the beginning, and she stays with you until your last breath. So during this time of Yule, we'd love to suggest, to recommend, to bring questions, to bring visions to your inner crone and see what she might have to offer, because she knows you in ways that perhaps you don't even know yourself. She's looking at things from a completely different frame of understanding. And the crone, of course, is connected to death and the death mysteries, which is foundational in priestess training. And she understands the world that comes next. She's intimate with this, knowing that soon she will make her transition. Her body's changing. Her mind is becoming more liminal. She's separating a little bit, day by day, from the busy going-ons of life. And she will soon, at some point, walk through the sacred threshold with her last breath. So with this truth, she lives and breathes with a knowing that is very different from any other archetype that we've journeyed with. The maiden, the lover, the warrior, the revolutionary, the queen. To work with death rather than be scared of it is part of the crone's magic and power. So these two forces of Divine Mother and crone are here to usher you into and through the solstice portal, ready to greet a new dawn. And while you generously and compassionately conceive and plant your destiny-infused dreams into your sacred womb space, the crone energy will clear out and let die to make space for gestation and birth held by the Divine Mother. And so we have these two archetypes that are really working hand in hand together. Just like in the beginning, visualizing Morgana and Mother Mary holding hands, we have these two archetypes who are really guardians of you fulfilling your destiny. Right? This is your one lifetime now that you are connected to, that is important to take the steps. Your previous lifetimes and your future lifetimes will be impacted and have impacted this moment. And these two energies are here to help make this experience easeful and graceful. And alongside them, there's lots of support here. We need to speak of the angels at this time, because the angels are, of course, very connected to solstice and Christmas, with the angels being put on the top of the Christmas tree. And it's said that Archangel Gabriel is the archangel most connected to winter solstice, most connected to Yule, as he is the archangel of vision, of revelation, of creativity, and of sacred service. That's really everything that I've just been sharing, right? The visioning, the revelation, the creativity, so that that light conception happens, and then we move into sacred service. So remember that at Mother Mary's Annunciation, this was her moment of revelation, of fulfillment of prophecy, and interpretation of her sacred vision. And although that seemingly or not seemingly, we don't really know whether it happened at solstice or not, this is a message coming through from Archangel Gabriel of what is once again possible at solstice, all coming from the dark of your womb space for the good of all beings and the good of the preservation and the continued seeding of the mysteries themselves, right? So there's a piece of the conception of your personal destiny and the conception of the collective destiny of the mysteries, which each of you as Sisters of the Rose are part of. And so it may be that your conception actually overlaps with the sister next to you and the sister on the other side of you. And there's this beautiful silver thread of weaving where our destinies are essential to be worked together. And that's the piece where we just remember that we've walked this path together for lifetimes. And just as a side note, I just touched on this just a couple minutes ago, but just remembering that throughout Priestesses of the Rose, through specific transmissions that were offered and activations that was offered, there's been relinking from your womb space to your third eye, from your womb space to your heart, and in all three centers as the triple flame of the Magdalene. And so in this way, it's you really want to draw on all of that as you conceive your dreams. So you may find that you're working with the emerald flame, or the Merkaba, or any of or the violet flame, any of these places that are linking your womb space to your third eye, so that that vision and revelation is there, and of course to your heart, so that you can express through love in the world. It's so beautiful to see how everything has conspired to support you to really go for it with your conception at this time. And so angels overall are very connected to Yule. They offer tremendous assistance as we journey into and through this time of the sun's return, right? So they share very high and various, depending on who they're coming from, frequencies. And of course, with our guide, Mother Mary, deeply connected to the angels, we not only have Archangel Gabriel, who's connected to winter solstice, but we have Raphael as well, who's just, connected with Mother Mary. And the seraphim angels, and the entire field of angels that are alive at this time, bringing goodwill, bringing kindness, right? So this is the time of year that's most connected with these energies. We see it all over, people asking for donations, or hearing extraordinary stories of people who were kind, right? Who offered love to others. This is really a time where we see, or we choose to be, both see and or choose to be in relationship with our human relations. And it's refreshing, and it's uplifting, and it helps to shift for those times when maybe we go back to our own ego-centered lives. Yule is the time of giving from the heart, of just being in the infinite flow of abundance, of kindness, and helping to create joy in this world, right? When we talk about our time together being uplifting for the whole of humanity, of our time together being in devotion to the upliftment of all of humanity that we do in almost every of our calls together, this is the moment where it gets anchored in by the greater world. And this is really a message of and from the angels, transforming ego and disconnection to community and kindness and sharing and love, and really, of course, how we would like it for always to be. That this is the time where we see it in the greater world. And traditionally, the winter solstice would have been honored by an all-night vigil, staying up through the longest night of the year to await the sunrise, and lighting lots of candles and not using electricity. Of course, they didn't have electricity thousands of years ago, but it's a good reminder for us of just really being in that soft sweetness of the dark, really welcoming that, knowing what's on the other side. It's sort of like our descent into the underworld, and when we're going through challenge, and we know that liberation is on the other side, right? So we know that there is the sun's return soon to be. And staying up for an all-night vigil is a really beautiful experience that we rarely ever give ourselves. And so the gift of spending time in the dark is, it really feeds deep aspects. And in the past, when the community would do this, there would be stories told, and also a long time of quiet and silence, awaiting the sun's return and being present with the dark. So it's a powerful thing to simply be with the rhythms of Gaia, taking the time to witness nature, and how nature, when we bear witness to nature, and when we feel the reflection of nature inside of our own body as we are the one and the same, it changes us in a really beautiful way. It awakens connections and remembrances we have to Gaia, to Mother Earth. It awakens knowledge that we hold that maybe we don't always honor or we dismiss, but something gets activated when we're in that layer of conscious communion. Our bodies, as we know, are just made of the elementals. And so when we watch and when we stay with the dark and watch that sunrise, there's an acknowledgement of who we are beyond this physical body. And so if you can commit to this for all days of the portal or just one day, it will support you as you release this past year, this past solar year and decade, and embrace what is coming forth for this new solar year. And those, obviously, we've spoken about it before, but those very first codes of the sun carry deep regenerative qualities that will fill you up from real inside out. And in ancient times, of course, as the wheel of the year turned, there would be celebrations of joy and also a lot of relief, right, at having made it through the longest and the darkest part of winter, right? Because people would get sick and many people would die, or you'd run out of food, or this was a moment of, we made it through this point, and the sun is blessing us now with its return, and we are going to be healthy and full of thriving, and soon we will be planting physical seeds into the earth and seeing them bloom and blossom and harvest. So rituals were often created to encourage the sun's, much hoped for ascent, to celebrate the resurrection of the light, and to affirm abundance and good fortune for this next season of the waxing sun. And so, as I was saying, there's a lot of quiet that's inherent at this time. And we really want to remind you of the importance of that and the busyness of our lives. And now, of course, with technologies and just the addictions to all these external ways that are beautiful and also make us move out rather than stay in. Quiet is actually important for conception. So we hold prayers, we hold intentions, and we allow for the miracle of this moment. And the softness of this time, of course, with our Rosa Mystica guide, Mother Mary, the softness of this time is palpable. And especially as we come out of the Black Rose in a moment. And this is a real vigil time. It's a vigil, meaning that in the stillness, in the silence, with this conception, you are staying committed and focused and devoted to that which is your destiny, right? A vigil anchors in that you're present, that you're committed, and that you're seeing something through. And of course, in the evocation that is in the Living Wisdom Sanctuary, we have offered you lots of rituals and sacraments and herbs and essential oils and flower essences that will support you to evoke and invoke the essence of this holy day and season, with this time of being inside and internal and teas and having cinnamon just, boiling on your stove, filling your whole house. And we've offered you a lot there. So please make sure to read through it and really bring these medicines into your life throughout the entirety of the Silver Rose Temple, not just for Yule, but that energy is going to continue throughout this whole temple. We're being ushered into a new energetic. And there are tremendous frequencies that wish to speak to you in the evocation. So it may be that you read through it and you kind of go, oh yeah, I know that, and mistletoe and rose of Sharon and cinnamon, and then read through it again and drop into a deeper layer, really sitting with what's been offered to you, because there's so much there. And of course, we don't have time to go through the listing of each thing and each ritual or frequency. So just wanting to remind you that that is a space to really drop in to Yule and the Silver Rose Temple. So there's one other piece that I wanted to share, but I'm actually going to post it in our Facebook group. It kind of goes along with some of the celestial events, and it's the journey of the Epiphany. And we just wanted to make sure that you have that, because it can be a powerful anchoring point with this moment of conception at Yule. So I will post about that in the next day or so in our Facebook group. So please just make sure to check in there. Of course, there's lots of sharings there by your sister. So if you haven't been in there in a little while, I would definitely recommend jumping in there and hearing some beautiful sharings and presencings. So it's a beautiful, amazing, luscious time of the Silver Rose. And I'm so grateful to all that's available to us at this moment. And may it bless you and bless the world and bless the Rose Mysteries. Thank you for all you do. And so it is. And so it is. Blessed be. And so with the dog barking, perfect time to segue to you, Achintya, who's going to lead us out of the Black Rose Temple and into the Silver Rose. Blessed be. And so it is.
Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be, beloved sisters. And thank you, Maya, so much of your Yule transmission and teachings have just brought tears to my eyes as I feel all of us in this very powerful time. And it feels just so exalted right now of these energies that are connected to our destiny and to our path. It's moving me in my cells and in my heart, and as I feel all of us encircled together, what a majestic moment we're in right now. So these waters of my womb and the unconditional love in my own heart with you, sisters, is just so deeply moved. And thank you, Maya, for everything. Thank you, sisters, for your presence. We're going to be transitioning from the Black Rose into the Silver Rose. And I actually want to invite just to have a 1 to 2 minute body break for you to use the restroom if you need to. If you want to just have a moment in silence to take all of this in, everything that was shared from Amaya. And then we will dive in. And just a little note here that is really powerful when you were speaking, Amaya, about Venus right now, and Venus has just gone into Sagittarius or into Aquarius today. And so we're, here we are at this moment of all these layers that continue to live through us, of being in this dark time, this exhale about to take this inhale, and we're here at this third gate with Venus, at the second gate. We're going to the third gate. So here we are in this womb space right now, the womb space of this second gate, with Mother Mary coming forward and at our own womb spaces, and yet this change in this moment of these codes of Aquarius coming in, with Venus in purpose and service, and in the revolution and the revelation that we're all a part of. So let's remember that as we transition from the black rose into the silver rose. And when you hear the chalice bell, it means we're beginning. So we'll just have a moment of shift and be right back. So, beloved priestesses of the rose, inviting you to close your eyes if they aren't already. Bringing in all that was shared from Amaya in this holy time into this deep resting place within your own being. And coming home to the power of your breath. Perhaps placing a hand to your heart or your womb space or both. Allowing for your shoulders to relax, your womb space and belly to soften. And as you connect deeper with your own breath, bringing an energetic descent to your awareness. Down, down, down. From your own womb space down into the earth. And feeling the space below you, the point of contact of your own body to what is beneath you, as symbolic of the Great Mother holding you, or Mother Gaia. And feeling the top of your own head, your crown, reaching to the heavens. This continued reunion of bringing forward and living heaven and living earth within your physical soul body. As you come deeper into your spatial awareness, you can feel yourself held within the soft, deep petals of the black rose temple. The velvety black dark that you have been journeyed through and journeyed by and journeyed with our beloved Rosa Mystica guide, Morgana. You can see the velvety dark petals around you. And you notice in your mind's eye the slight embers of the Samhain fires that have been burning. And it is here that you feel called to give your thanks and your gratitude, and to close this part of your journey with reverence. And as you approach the coals and the embers, you can see the faint figure of Morgana. She has been here by these fires that have been burning. She has been in the dark with you all along. And it is here that in her very presence, in her silence, you can feel her message to you. It is here that she shares with you a great honoring of all that you have journeyed through. Through her presence, you can feel her as she speaks. Dear sister, this temple of the Black Rose has brought forth powerful initiations and teachings and lessons and closures and awareness important for your soul path and this current lifetime. Your hard work has been powerful, perhaps treacherous, and yet essential. I honor your dreaming. I honor your potent releasing. I honor you for all of your effort. May you receive the blessing of this dark rose of the black encoded of the great remembrance of the sacred cycles, of the holy womb and tomb, the beginning, the end, the transition, the wisdom that you are embodying and that you are assimilating from this temple is of significant importance for your lifetime and for all that is coming. As you feel the potency of this mystic black rose at the fire embers, you offer your final releasing gratitude, honoring yourself, your sisters, and Morgana, and all of these powerful embodied teachings of magic and wisdom and death. And in your offerings and your gratitude, the final ember turns black. Your journey in the Black Rose Temple is now complete. You can see from the black priestess robes of Morgana that she holds out her hand. It is here in this depth of the dark that you reach out and your hands come together. And she begins to walk you out of the Black Rose Temple. Hand in hand, you walk with great triumph and victory, for this powerful initiation temple has served you well, and you have succeeded in the truest sense of being your authentic self. It is here at this threshold that you stand together now, turning towards one another, both palms facing each other and touching. She offers a final transmission of her presence to you. And instinctively, your hands come together, your left and your right palm bowing to Morgana as she bows to you. And she turns to look to the entrance that is now open for you to enter into the celestial rose at the center of Sophia. Her transmission and last words are treasured deep within you. And as you turn to look at her one last time, she has an offering for you in her hands. With your hands open, you receive this as a parting gift. And with that, she vanishes. Her magic remains with you always. It has been ignited and it has been rooted in the great awareness of your consciousness. As the ravens to each side of this exit fan you with their wings, you enter into the celestial rose center of Sophia with this sacred gift from Morgana in your hands. And you stand here in the center to receive the cosmic blessings of this turning of the wheel, feeling the bottoms of your feet and your spine swirling down into the earth, and from the top of your crown swirling up to the heavens. A restructuring and a spinning and a turning and a turning, and the wheel of the year and the turning of time and timelessness here. The cosmic codes of the Great Mother bless you in this great void of the celestial rose and the cosmic womb. An assimilation, a sealing of all that has taken place in the black rose is integrated. The sacred place of transition with 3 full deep breaths. Your ears become attuned to what you can sense is the singing of angels. Guiding you to take your steps towards the entryway of the Silver Rose Temple. You can see, coming into greater vision, the silver ray. And as you approach the silver ray, you notice to the left and to the right, 2 doves, wings spread open and shining, cascading this silver ray of the Divine Mother's light of creation. It is here that the doves shower you and with an invitation for you to offer of your heart what is alive and present. As you do this, their wings too flutter with a presence and a sweetness and a gentleness, inviting you to enter the Temple of the Silver Rose. with a bow of gratitude and awe wonderment at these creatures of peace. You can feel a frequency quite different from that of the black rose, but yet somehow so deeply braided and woven together in significance and importance. With each step you begin to take, this silver ray guides you, one step in front of the other. It is here that this hallway, this entryway, has holographic imagery of stars, of the fleur de lis, of the moon, of shimmering starlight. And you come and enter into this temple of the silver rose where the angels are singing louder now in a great welcoming and homecoming into this temple that has always been here for you and awaiting you now. Looking around, the starlight, the shimmering, this holographic imagery blesses you. Particles of stardust, silver light, and these walls of the silver rose temple, velvety, shimmering, illuminated with a majestic glow. And there, your eyes descend to look in front, straight ahead. And there she is, Mother Mary, Maria, Mariana, Marianne, cloaked in a silver rose robe. Roses that look alive. A crown of 12 stars around her head. Her palms are face down and facing towards you. Divine light shimmering and being offered from her to you. Come, my child, I have been waiting for you. It is here that you walk towards her, towards this light emanating from her palms. Her arms stretch wide open, and you enter her embrace. She holds you. You allow yourself to be held. Come, my child. In this embrace, you feel an energy of purity and majesty and unconditional love. Your whole being feels relief. Your whole being relaxes, and all that is held is dropped. Your whole body exhales as her divine presence and her embrace soothes you. from her embrace light being transmitted from her to you, and a sacred communion of mother and child, mother to mother, sister to sister, priestess to priestess, wise woman to wise woman. It is here in this embrace that her unconditional love penetrates you at a soul level. Her embrace already feels as a part of your destiny coming into fulfillment, and a deep, deep soul love. As the embrace begins to soften, she asks that you stand before her. She helps you rise with her hands to come into standing. And she too, with you, are palm to palm. She asks you to bring forth this sacred mudra, and you raise your hands up to the heavens, forming a triangle. Blessed be to the great heavens and this sacred time in this continuum of eternity. I invite you to call down the mantle of your soul destiny. And it is here that you can feel a portal of light descending, entering into your own palms, the light cascading down as you bring this sacred triangle down to your brow. As the triangle is at your brow, Mother Mary's hands too, forming this mudra right alongside you, bless you. She transmits this light of benevolent grace towards your brow, and a deep knowing of trusting your sight, your visions, your intuition, the Holy Grail within you. Your hands begin to move down to your heart. And this triangle facing up is ignited and imprinted over your heart. You then turn this triangle in your palms to face the other direction towards the earth, imprinting the Merkaba at your heart. It is here that Mother Mary too blesses you. And as she does, this sacred flame of your own heart ignites. She honors the sacred center of the union of heaven and earth within you, the sacred masculine and the feminine, and unconditional love, heart to heart, eternal truth, burning bright. moving your palms down towards your womb space. From this chalice of love to the cauldron of power, Mother Mary blesses you here, the holy womb space of your creative power, and this eternal flame of your creatrix, your lover. Your embodied codes of creation are alit and imbued within your entire womb space. Mother Mary's own hands transmit this blessing from her womb to your womb. Reflecting the codes of time immemorial, of the powers of conception and your own light within you to create, to come into form. This triangle of your palms goes down towards the earth. And all of these codes of your own destiny with Mother Mary are anchored into the crystalline structure of Gaia. Your palms then lift up from the earth to the heavens again, and as you do so, Mother Mary takes a step closer to you, and though she is in front of you, you can feel her presence from behind you as well. As your stretched and reached up hands begin to separate and descend on either side of you, Mother Mary, through this silver light, supports an awakening, a remembrance, and she speaks. Beloved child, it is time for you to remember a part of you perhaps once forgotten, a part of you that is your destiny on earth at this time. This great remembrance of you as an earth angel. I offer you this sacred gift of your own remembrance at this time of the Mother. This time of promises fulfilled. And it is here from the presence behind you, from the core of your own heart and the Merkaba, alive, that you can feel from the back of your own heart an opening that brings the coating of your angelic wings, a coating and a holographic imprinting of remembrance of these sacred wings of your Christed self, angelic self. Beloved one, this is a part of who you are and who you have always been. It is here that I welcome in and acknowledge the archangels As your wings are spread, dear child, Gabriel, 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 angel of life, gives you strength to your entire body. Michael, 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 Mishael, angel of the earth, supports to regenerate your entire body in the great remembrance of who you are and are becoming and always have been. Amael, 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 the sacred angel, giving great air to uplift your wings and the air of life and the breath of life for all of eternity. Raphael, 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 angel of the sacred sun, blesses you in the power of your solar center and the fire of your dreams coming into form. Sachiel, 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 angels of water, bless, bless, bless you with the waters of your womb and of your blood to the water of life and these currents of your destiny. It is here that the singing of angels, the archangels and the guardians and the protectors and the supporters of the Silver Rose Temple are in exaltation of your great remembrance of your angelic self, of you as the anointed one of your life in communion with the sacred light of all of creation. Mother Mary stands before you with her crown of stars upon her, standing and hovering before you. She offers a reflection for you of your own embodiment, your own destiny, as you walk your priestess path with these sacred coatings of the Divine Mother, as you offer your unconditional love to the world. Her unconditional love pours from her heart to your heart. And you feel and know that you are home. Within yourself. And it is here, my child, in this sacred temple of the rose, that we shall journey deep, 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 wide, wide, wide into this sacred light. Of unconditional love. Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be. The angelic presence of Mother Mary continues to grace you as your awareness of the Silver Rose Temple is anchored and imbued within your consciousness, and you begin to bring greater awareness to the 3D realm and the space of where you are in this current timeline and dimension, with Mother Mary holding you and your angelic wings alive. The power of creation within your womb space, the truth of your heart, and the power of your sight, imbued with the coatings of unconditional love that you are. And so taking 3 full deep breaths to anchor this experience. And to continue to be present with the angels' light and song and Mother Mary's love imbued in the space around you. And slowly letting a little bit of light into your eyes. And then opening them a little bit more at your own pace to come forward into our temple of the Silver Rose together, honoring Queen of Heaven, Queen of Angels, Star of the Sea, our beloved Lady, Mother Mary. And we welcome you, beloved ones, with all that is alight and alive within you. Perhaps if it feels right to look and gaze upon your sisters once again in a great honoring of the angelic presence, then each and every sister is here, that always has been and is evermore coming into form with the light of unconditional love. And with this shared love, opening the space for any of your heart shares of what is alive within you, as we have completed the Black Rose Temple and just entered so sweetly with Mother Mary into the Temple of the Silver Rose. And so whoever would like to begin, you can unmute yourself. And of course, if any questions come forward as well that feel alive, we welcome that. And many, many, many blessings. And of course, honoring what is alive in here, as we can see some of your pens moving to take notes in your grimoire for anything that wants to remain in your present awareness. And then organically welcoming any of your sharings. Blessed be.
I'll share a little something. Can everyone hear me okay? Cool. That was really beautiful. And I feel like so much alive in my body right now, where like my heart's beating really fast and I feel really hot. And at one point when we were transitioning, it was like this wave of almost needing to vomit came on over me, which was really intense. And whoa, there's a lot of me that almost didn't want to come on the call today because I wasn't like ready to leave the Black Rose Temple. And I just really wanted to stay there. And even during, right when Achintia, you went in to go ahead and walk us through, my internet completely cut out and I had to like get back on. And I was like, is this Morgana trying to keep me in the Black Rose Temple? Is this me? What's happening? So I came back on. Anyways, I was like, no, I feel like there's like I need to do this and transition. But even just leaving Morgana, I was like, I don't want to go. I'm comfortable in this like deep blackness and in the dark of everything. Like I like it there. And moving into the silver or celestial rose, what comes up for me a lot is how much I have actually the color silver, or just that essence in general, this celestial color, has always been like mildly off-putting to me. I know the whole room that I'm in is like silvery gray right now, which is weird, but it's always been like mildly, I've had like an aversion towards it. And so moving into the temple was difficult, but the purity that is this like illumination is awakening in me that this is going to illuminate even more of the darkness I wasn't maybe able to see fully in the Black Rose Temple, where because of the purity of our guide and like how she is illuminating through and to us, it will show me more for myself to step into of what all that is that I'm like trying to avoid right now, because I feel like there's a missing link and I'm just like really want to connect it so bad so I can feel fully like aligned and in my purpose and illuminating my destiny throughout my entire life. So I'm looking forward to this, and thank you for walking us through this. I bow to you all, sisters.
Hi, sisters. Can you hear me? Okay.
I also have the like racing heart and the sweat. I don't know. Oh, I just feel my body feels very alive, and I'm just feeling like immense gratitude right now to Morgana, to Mother Mary, to all of you, this sisterhood. That was an intense darkness for me this year. I mean, it always is, but so much deep layers of shadows, but with that, like, so much shifting, I can feel a huge change coming for me. I'm already in it, and I couldn't have done it without all of you, all of our guides. And I'm really, really excited. I'm really excited for the Silver Temple because I feel a spaciousness now that I have not felt in a long time. And like infinite potential for myself, for all of us. And it's amazing. I'm just so excited, and I can't wait to see where this takes us. And ooh, I love solstice. It's a welcome relief. I love all of you. Thank you so much for witnessing me and holding me, and to my sister council group for supporting me through some really hard stuff. And of course, all of you. So thank you. I love you.
We have time for one more sister sharing. Also recognizing that we're in the waning moon, and the very last waning of the sun, and the quiet that comes with solstice. And so if there's someone who wants to share as our final share, and also honoring this real place of internal quiet.
I'd love to share briefly here. Just my heart is pounding, which always means I need to say something. Gratitude, just reflecting that, Britt, and a contrast with the silver color. For me, this feels so comfortable. My birthday being technically in the black rose, but I've always really loved. I grew up with Christmas, but I'm really understanding and so excited to kind of remember what I think I've always really felt connected to. So I'm just kind of feeling very bubbled up and excited. I'm going to be with my family this year. And there's been a lot, same with you, Brett, just really mirroring that. Has been intense. I know there's more layers, but it feels like I needed this Mother Mary's loving embrace, and to just consciously step into that. Just so grateful. Yeah, and I love you all. I think that's it. Thank you. Blessed be.
Thank you, Jessica. Blessed be. I love that. Really feeling into that deep joy that is at this time and coming back into the original essence of where it came from. And so I'm going to say my goodbyes, and Achintia is going to close us. And I wish you all the deepest, most fulfilling solstice and entering into a new Gregorian year. And I felt just to presence this very quickly for you, Lizzo. Morgana's here all the time. Yeah, they all hold hands together. So she's just always here. And that came through so deeply for me to share. And then you spoke that. So we're always going to be moving through all of these descents and resurrections. That's life. And so whomever you feel resonance with throughout this journey, know that they're always here. And we don't just leave them, as we leave a temple. They're part of this lifetime. So I love you all so dearly and wish you a great moment of conception. Of all of your dreams. I look forward to witnessing how they poke out of the earth, what colors they are, and all the gifts that they offer to the world. I bow to each of you and give great reverence to Mother Mary. Blessed be.
Blessed be. Thank you, Maya. Thank you, sisters. I'm just gonna presence here in the chat. Tanya is saying, thank you, sisters, for sharing. Love you all so much. And love going back to you. And Philippa, blessings and deep love to all. Love you, ladies. So in the chat, I know we're all extending this great reverence and love for one another. And yeah, wow, my own heart, just loving each and every one of you so much. And Mother Mary and Morgana, and just like echoing, it's like all of our guides are always here. It's just who's the one who's just stepping forward, that one extra step to transmit. So everyone else is still right here. And merely feeling the archangels right now. And it's like, as I close my eyes, I see us all in circle, and I see your oversouls, like right now, just like over all of you, just like the shimmering, cascading light of your angelic self. And so I honor the angelic self that you are, that is merged and merging with your physical 3D self. And Jackie's sharing, my heart is spread wide open today with liberation and reverence and gratitude for being birthed back into full presence with all of you here within this temple. Deeply, deeply thank you. Thank you, Jackie, sister, beloved. May we enter into our personal rituals and celebrations and honorings, feeling our circle alive. And whatever it is that you're choosing to do or be with your solstice rituals and ceremonies, whether with an all-night vigil and watching the sunrise, or the moments of sunrise or sunset, or whatever that you are choosing that is most resonant for you, know that we are all here together. And any inspirations that you wish to share and offer from this into our Facebook group at this time for everyone will feel really beautiful and is welcomed if you feel so called. And so we will close today for this moment with this great love and angelic light that is filled within each of you and all of us and all around us. And so inviting you, beloved ones, to close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, hearing the bells of joy and celebration, the singing of angels who sing the codings of creation that you are a part of, and that your song, your caroling, your presence of light is indeed a great blessing for this planet and beyond. Feeling those three flames alit within you, imbued with an amplified and exalted presence of unconditional love. Knowing indeed that it is done, it is done, it is done. Your dreams, the seeds of light that you welcome in at this time to penetrate your womb space, your heart space, and your sight space. We honor this dark, long night of the mother and the return of the sun and the sacred lunar and solar and Venusian mysteries of the rose. May you feel your own angelic wings as an expression of your truth, of your sovereignty, of your embodiment, in communion with all of creation. Mother Mary's light here, shimmering and shining to bless you now and always. And to all of the majesty and the magic of this time and these holy days of Yule, may the great blessings of the goddess nourish your spirit and nourish your body, and the presence of unconditional love be felt within you, for all, and by all, as you receive this gift as well. Unconditional love of who you are, who you have always been, and who you are becoming for this next solar year and this new decade. Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be. Our Yule ceremony time together is now complete. Our circle is open and remains unbroken. Mary meets and Mary part, and Mary meets again very soon, and with the spirit of Yule and all of the ceremonies that you will be a part of and the presence that you will be alive with. It is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is. Slowly opening your eyes with a great bow of reverence and unconditional love. Blessed be, blessed be.